2020 KTM Freeride E-XC electric. I've had this bike about a year and a half now. I thought I'd do a, that's about 1,500 mile, 90-hour update on it. First thing, I put a lot of time in riding on this bike. It probably accumulates more time and ride time than any of my other bikes combined. It's just a lot of fun. It's just a different experience, and it's just fun to get out and play on. Electric is totally different. No, it's not going to replace my internal combustion engine bikes, my gas bikes, but it is a different off-road riding experience, and it's fun. And it's unique. Number one, it's stealth, quiet. You can just ride the things anywhere. I'm in an urban environment right now. There's a walking path over there, cars, highway, and I got these great trails, and nobody even can tell I'm back in here now because it doesn't make any noise. The next thing is range, battery. People will always ask me that question. That's really the first question that always comes up. In my experience, I've had to go as far as 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 38 miles in map 1, just putting around the neighborhood on paved roads real slow. But typically I get about an hour and a half out of it. I ride it in map 3, that's full power, that's the most fun. And it just hour and a half, 25, 30 miles. That's kind of real world stuff for trail riding for what it's designed for. Number 2, suspension. It is Explore suspension. It's soft. It's set up for woods. So that's where you ride it, and that's what it's really set for, and it works great for that. It's too soft for going super fast or pro guys, or even fast trail riders. It's going to be a little mushy for that. You can stiffen up springs in that, but really the bike's not really meant for that. It is a cross between like a trials bike and a woods bike because the pegs are down and back. Head angles, I think 23 degrees. It's pretty steep, and it's about a 7/8 size bike. It's pretty compact. It's got a thin seat and thin ergos. There's the battery. In theory, you can take 4 bolts out, do a quick change, but I think batteries are really expensive. I've never even looked at replacing them. As far as 1,500 miles, what I've had to do to it, I've put 1 set of tires on it, and I put a chain on it, and that's really it. It's electric, so it really is kind of maintenance free. There is one little primary gearbox oil you should change every 50 hours. I've done that once so far, 200 cc's, but that's it. Just kind of not gas and go, but charge and go. Now, these bikes are super agile. They're about 240 pounds, but you would never know it when you ride it, unless, of course, you got to pick it up. But it's got an electric motor, so there's very little inertia. So it really changes direction quick. And the next thing is torque. It's got about, I think, 31 foot-pounds of torque, 24 horsepower, but 31 foot-pounds of torque. So that's a lot of torque, and it's there instantly. So you can squirt out of the corners, and that just makes it fun and very agile, and that finds traction. Now the Maxxis tires I like a lot because sometimes you got to ride on the pavement in between trails, and they get good traction. And I tend to they're not very good in the real muddy stuff, but you air them down, they have surprising amount of traction, especially in the hard pack. But like I said, this thing is agile, quick turning. Brakes are so-so. There's no foot brake. They come with a left-hand rear brake, and I like that. Some people want to add some people like to add the foot brake, and I think there's a kit for that. But I like riding it like it's a mountain bike. So I gotta see where I'm going here. I can do all the controls right through the handlebars, which I think is kind of cool. So the stealth factor, the instant torque, it's easy to ride, and honestly, it's really effective. I've done a lot of lap time comparisons, and you can see them on my channel, but this thing typically is as quick as my gas bikes on these tight kind of woodsy loops, and not too fast, but it will get going fast. It'll get up to speed quick. And the brakes, again, formulas, they're not as good as Brembo's. I wish KTM would put Brembo's on it, but they're okay. And I think they've improved them for 21 and maybe even 22. I think they put some better brakes on, but I've not tried that. These ones are just kind of okay. What else on the thing? Suspension size. Oh yeah, charging. It's 220 volts. That's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. That bike was developed for Europe, and I was fortunate they brought it here to the States. So you just have to wire up for that. Man, these things, it's almost like the tighter the trail, the better. You just go. And when you get into the little open area, you can just kind of wheelie and go. It's got such instant acceleration. And all very stealth-like. A little gear whine. I think right now, KTM is the only major OEM that's, offering a battery-powered serious dirt bike, full size for adults. Hopefully other people will jump in on that. But so after 1,500 miles, year and a half, 90 hours, this thing, still 2 big thumbs up. It's quiet, it's little, it's compact, it's fun, it's electric. I love it. KTM Freeride E-XC 2020.